Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. And we're going to read a letter from a fan. We started back up this little segment once again, and we have a page on our website right now, at least at the time of this video being up. I guess we'll see, depending on how much your letters disappoint me. Well, anyway, as of right now, we have a page on our website where you can submit letters if you have questions or commentary that you think is worth responding to. And we have a letter over here that I wanted to talk about in light of some recent scores. Hi, Melon. I've been a fan of yours for a while, and there's been something I've been thinking about. I left a comment on your recent spelling review, excited that a 10 had been given to a female artist, now 2. It got a bunch of likes, so clearly people agreed, but I got a bunch of replies from guys saying, why does gender matter? Who cares? Just enjoy the music, so on and so forth. I do like this letter. It does bring up something interesting. It does bring up, at least to the perception of some of my viewers, like a sea change or a shift of some sort in my coverage or my scores. At least from my own perspective, I don't feel like I'm appreciating the art or music of female artists any differently than I have in the past necessarily. The very first year that I came on here to do a full year's worth of reviews, my album of the year was the self-titled Fever Ray record, which I still love the shit out of. But to address two things here, like why did you get the responses you did? And, to also answer the question, well, why does gender matter in this instance? I think you got a lot of the responses that you did because, there are a lot of white guys who watch my content and, just guys in general. And, when your perspective, your male perspective, and sometimes your white perspective is represented so heavily and so readily, and I guess in such an omnipresent way throughout multiple media forms, you don't tend to think of representation as that significant because you're not used to a lack of representation of your experience, of your point of view, of your identity. As a straight guy and a white guy, I can tell you that my point of view from either of those perspectives have been bounced back at me through the media I've consumed over the course of my lifetime. And when you align with an identity, be it a racial one, a gender one, whatever it be, and there's a severe shortage of your perspective out there. There's a severe shortage of your experiences out there being reflected in visual media, auditory media. There may be points where you struggle to find that validation, that reflection of your own experience, of your own life back out at you, which I think for a lot of people is important in terms of like how you understand or perceive your place in the world, because we base our experiences entirely on the validation and understanding and the responses and the I guess the perspectives of others. I may be going off on a tangent here, but humans are social beings and art doesn't purely happen inside of a vacuum. Now, to actually answer the question of why does it matter that I've given a 10 to the spelling record or a 10 to the lingua ignota record. For a long time, generationally, there have been inequities along gender lines in our society, whether you're talking about economic inequities or social stigmas, which are either ongoing or not that far into the past. When I got into blogging and just starting to upload videos onto YouTube, people were writing about, all-girl indie bands like they were just like a phase or a fad or like a quirky gimmick or, just like a fun angle to portray the band in or with. Obviously, we can be happy about the fact that women are making music and they're making good music, and we can celebrate that music. But when you frame it in a way where it's patronizing and you boil the appeal of the music down completely to the fact that they're women, yeah, that's, can be kind of sexist. So because of the years of women being written about so dismissively in music journalism and beyond, of course, when a female artist gets high praise for a new record, it's cause for celebration, whether that is from me or somebody else. And if people want to celebrate that or point that out or feel like that's a good thing, I think that's fine. I think that's great. Be happy about that. I mean, there's so many things in this world to be miserable about. There's so many awful things going on at any given time. If you find some solace in the fact that I gave the new Spelling album a 10 and it brings you some joy and you actually enjoy the record yourself, I say that's great, because socially there is most definitely value in championing art made by women, championing female art, as long as you're genuinely putting in the work to understand that art, appreciate that art, and find art made along those gender lines that you think is generally deserving of that high amount of praise that you want to give. I think you sort of like run into an issue, at least for me personally. I feel like however people want to write about music or cover whatever, they're entitled to do that. But at least for me, I don't want to come on here and be patronizing and, hand out scores to people based upon some kind of, made up system of, oh, okay, this is a white guy. I can't give the white guy as a highest score, or this guy is this kind of person, or this person's that kind of person. I don't have like, a score handicap for the artists and the albums that I'm listening to based upon, your personal identity or anything. I don't think the artists receiving reviews, even positive reviews, would want to be patronized in that way. I think if somebody got for their record, and not to treat, album reviews or scores like report cards, but if an artist were to get a very positive review from me, I think that they would like to feel like that review came from a point of genuineness and sincerity, and that I'm not giving out a positive review as a charity, or I'm not saying their album is great because it's a special case or something like that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about this letter, and we will also leave a link down below where you can submit your own thoughts and fan letters and all that. You guys are the best. Love you. Anthony Fantano. Letter from a fan forever.